G'day everyone, welcome to Keystone English. My name is Key and I will be your host and instructor for this series. What you're watching right now is the portion of the show called How to Speak To. We're looking at ways to talk to people with upper intermediate to advanced levels in English, but who also retain their native accent. Today I have my good friend Maziz here with me. Maziz is from Malaysia. He has what he calls a Malaysian Singaporean accent, but his level in English is actually pretty high. So Maziz, say hi to the camera please.
Hi everyone. I believe the compliment is a bit exaggerated. I'm not as well as what he says, but good enough to talk and converse.
So as you can see, Maziz does still have some of his accent. Unlike me, I have a North American, Canadian, American accent, but Maziz here is speaking from his native Malaysian tongue. Okay, so let's just start off with some basic questions here, Maziz. Where are you from, specifically?
Well, I'm from Malaysia. I was born south of Malaysia in a city called Johor Bahru. Now, this city is a bit special because it's very nearby Singapore. So for you to actually, if you want to go to Singapore, you just have to cross the bridge and there you are. So it's very near, and the exposure to Singapore culture is quite open because the television channel from Singapore is available in my place.
Oh, I can understand that. And I remember one thing. I went to Singapore on the 1st of January, Western calendar, Gregorian calendar, and I remember that when going to Universal Studios, during that weekend, it was jam-packed because there were so many Malaysian people coming into Singapore during that weekend because apparently there was a national holiday during that time.
Well, to tell you the truth, even though for 19 years I've been spending in Johor Bahru, only the last on the 19th year, then only I was actually able to have a chance to travel to Singapore. So unfortunately, Universal Studio is not one in my list during that travel during that time.
Oh, okay, well maybe someday you'll get to go back to Universal Studios and see it. It's interesting. Maybe you can take your son. What was it like growing up in Malaysia?
Well, it was a very interesting experience actually. Now, the reason why I say interesting is because now I already live in Vietnam, so the interesting part came from the comparison between living in Vietnam and Malaysia. And the reason why it's interesting because in Malaysia they have more than one races. You have Chinese, Malays, Indians, probably Japanese in my area because Japanese used to occupy that Malaysia at one time. So the interesting part is that all of these races have different cultures. So as you yourself growing up in such environment, you are exposed to all those kind of cultures. And another thing that is interesting is the food, because usually the kind of food that is available in a location depends on the culture that is in that particular area. So with all this mix of cultures in Malaysia, the amount of food, there are many kinds of food available. So you're not really gonna be bored because you can eat different food every day from different cultures. So it's interesting.
Yeah, that definitely does sound like something that people can get into.
Right.
That's nice. But in terms of equality, you say there are about three or four prime.
At least three.
Races. Yeah, three main cultures, ethnicities, races in that area in Malaysia.
Right.
Would you say that they are kind of equally treated, or is there kind of a segregation in terms of class level?
On a general level, yes, all of the culture, all of the races are equally treated, but Malays are basically kind of being given an extra benefit. It's sort of like affirmative action, because the reason why it dates back from the colonization of the British. So what happened is that during the colonization of British, the Malays are being pushed to the rural areas, and they brought in immigrants which are from China as well as from India. So they are the one who pioneers the industry in the main city center. While as the years goes by, Malays are being pushed further and further away from the city and to the remote areas or rural areas. So what happened is that in a long period of time, this economic disparity is becoming more and more obvious. So once our country gained independence, what happened is that our Prime Minister tried to reverse this effect by giving this what you call affirmative action. Yeah. But overall, everyone, no matter Chinese, Malay or Indian, were given equal rights, equal opportunity to study in tertiary education, and also given the equal rights from the social welfare, which is from the government's help. So yeah.
So, Aziz, how has your Malaysian upbringing shaped the person you are today?
Well, I've been growing in an environment where there's a lot of races, so a lot of cultures that are being adopted. So basically, it has always kept me open-minded to other cultures. So what happened is that I could adapt pretty easily in almost all situations. One thing that has been an integral part in my upbringing is that when I came to Vietnam, I have no problem at all making close friends with the Vietnamese, because since I was a kid, I've always interact and have making good friends with the Chinese, the Malay and the Indians. So because of that, I can see past through the colors, the cultural differences, and I have no problem at all in interacting and coexist with people from other races as well as with different cultures. So that is one of the things that I believe that other people should experience, because in this kind of world, especially when globalization is kind of like predominantly being sort of like
Improved upon. Like, people are getting closer nowadays.
yeah, you know, the people are more open nowadays. It is important for you to not stereotype or discriminate people from other cultures as well as other races. Yeah.
So people have asked me, when will you go back to Canada? Like I've been here for several years now. People keep asking me when I'll be returning, and I basically tell them when I'm ready to have a child, that's when I'll be going back to Canada. And the reason that I give is that when I was in grade 1, first grade, I had friends from 10 different countries in my one class. I had people from India, Iran, China, Korea, Africa, Ireland, Britain, America. So in terms of cultural diversity, my class was huge, even though there were only around 15 to 20 students. But from an early age, I learned to judge people only based on their achievements, their intelligence, their personalities, their personal selves, rather than on their appearance and cultural appearance, their race, or just things that they had no control over. Yeah, so I tell people that when I'm ready to have a child, I want my kid to have the same opportunities to be what we call colorblind, culturally colorblind. Just to judge people based on who they are, not what they are.
I agree. I share the same sentiment as you.
Okay, great.